You've probably heard of these phrases before. But what does the research really say? Today, we're looking at 4 popular myths surrounding guns and gun ownership, and presenting research that answers the question, are they true? Myth 1. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. The truth is, the gun matters a lot. Violent interactions are less likely to be fatal when a gun isn't around. The presence of a gun makes everyday disputes more likely to turn deadly. That's why homicide rates are twice as high in homes with guns. It's why people who live with gun owners are 7 times more likely to be shot by a spouse or intimate partner, and it's why people who carry guns are 4 times more likely to be shot, according to a recent study. By the way, all of our sources are linked below, so fact check us there. Myth 2. Gun storage equals safe having a gun. There's no question, if you have a gun, it should be stored locked, unloaded, and separate from ammunition. But while most gun owners see themselves as responsible, more than half don't store all of their guns safely. And studies have shown that nearly 40% of parents in homes with guns believe their kids can't access a gun, but the kids can. And finally, most gun storage options still allow for quick access for people with the keys or the code to the safe. And that's by design, and it's risky. The leading cause of death in the year after someone gets a handgun is suicide. And 70% of suicide attempts occur within an hour of someone making the decision to attempt. In a moment of crisis, people are safer without quick access to a firearm. Myth 3. Guns don't increase suicide risk, people will still find a way. First off, if you or a loved one need help with their mental health, call, text, or chat 988 to get help for free anytime. Okay, now back to the fact check. 9 of 10 people who attempt suicide survive. And contrary to popular belief, people who survive a suicide attempt overwhelmingly do not go on to later die by suicide. The exception, of course, is when someone tries to kill themselves with a gun. When the firearm is involved, 90% of suicide attempts end in death. Guns don't make someone suicidal, but the presence of a gun does make it very likely that a suicide attempt will result in death. That's why suicide rates are 4 times higher for kids who live in homes with guns. It's why the risk of suicide for women who own guns is 35 times higher than for women who don't. And it's why first-time male gun owners are 8 times more likely to die by suicide compared to non-owners. There's state-by-state evidence in support of this too. States with more guns have a much higher suicide death rate. But if you subtract the firearm suicides, the correlation disappears. When a gun is present, everything can change fast, and we all deserve the chance to live past our worst moments. Myth 4. I need a gun for protection. Across all groups, research shows that owning or carrying a gun makes us less safe. And gun violence is now the leading cause of death for children and teens, surpassing even car accidents. Communities with more guns are more likely to experience gun violence, mass shootings, and fatal encounters with police. More guns doesn't mean more protection, more guns means more risk. In fact, research shows that for every 10% increase in gun ownership in a state, the rise of mass shootings goes up by 35% within that state. This is true at a household level as well. There's no evidence that a gun will improve your outcomes in an assault or robbery situation at home. Studies show that people without a gun are just as likely to escape harm as people with one. And in some cases, having a gun makes it more likely you'll be injured or worse. Instead, having a gun at home ups your household's risk of death by suicide and homicide, and the risk that they'll be injured by a gun as well. The data is clear. Guns don't add safety, guns add risk. They make deadly outcomes far more likely for ourselves, our families, and our communities. And if you want to learn more about guns and how they risk our safety, visit projectunloaded.org/getthefacts and subscribe to see more videos like this.